All right, so let's take a look to see what's happening in the markets today, Wednesday, May 19th. And with me in the studio is my head coach, Mark Hodge. Wow, Mark, this morning the markets are sharply lower and they have been lower for the past 2 days. So, will this be the third day that the markets are lower?
Well, right now it's setting up that way, Marcus. This could be the third down day in a row, and quite honestly, things setting up this morning. It's a bigger drop, right? We're looking at futures markets being down 1% plus, with the Nasdaq leading the way right now, down 1.6%.
Yeah, I mean, it's so let's take a look at yesterday really quick. So yesterday, all of the indices were down almost 1%, and it was a slide into the close. If you're looking at a
Yeah.
5 minute chart, we see that yesterday, basically in the last hour. So this here is a 5 minute chart, and this is where we see that selling accelerated in the last hour, going into the close. And then this morning, there's the follow through. If you're just looking here at a chart of the NASDAQ. These are the NASDAQ futures. Overnight, I'm switching to a 15-minute chart. This is where we just see pretty much all night. So here, this is where we ended yesterday, and this is the overnight session. So pretty much all night, the futures markets have been going down. So crazy. What do you think why that
Yeah.
is?
Well, the 10-year note is, or the 10-year yield that is higher, so that's putting some pressure. I mean, this is where it's a broad market drop, but the Nasdaq is leading right now. So if things were more in line between the S&P, the Dow, and the Nasdaq, then that could just be general weakness. I know that overseas markets were lower. It really just seems like it's follow through from yesterday's drop. Right now, continued selling, and then the 10-year putting pressure on tech.
I think also it's inflation fears, right? Because
Sure.
today we have the FOMC meeting minutes that will be released. So this afternoon, and this is where investors are concerned. I mean, we already know the statement last week where the Fed said, "Oh, you know what, everything will be fine." But right now, it's inflation, right? And they want to look into the wording of the meeting minutes today to see if there's anything that the Fed might actually tighten their policy, right? And this would be bad if interest rates are going up. This would send the markets lower. So this is where I think this afternoon maybe we get a catalyst that the markets pull higher. But hey, it's not only the stock market. Bitcoin is plummeting. I mean, look at this. Bitcoin right now down what? Overnight, 25%, trading at 32,000. We actually need to switch to a weekly chart so that we see how bad it is here in Bitcoin. So if we look at this is a weekly chart. We get the idea. Right now, we are at levels that we haven't seen since end of the year, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of money coming out of cryptos right now. I mean, even Dogecoin down 43%, trading at 27 cents. And I mean, this is where just going into the Saturday Night Live skit with Elon Musk, it was 60 cents, 60 cents plus. I think it hit 71 cents.
Yeah,
So
it's coming off the highs of 70. So right now trading at what, a third of where the highs were. But I mean, cryptocurrencies all across the board. Ethereum also down
yeah, everything.
35%. I mean, looking at this, the 25% down in Bitcoin is next to nothing. I mean, Ethereum, as you can see, it has been trading at 4,200, and right now it is trading at half of this. It's trading at 2178. So it's the drop of 50%. So what's happening in the cryptocurrencies here? I thought it was everybody's darling. I mean, this year they have been on fire.
Yeah, I it just goes to show there's still a ton of volatility in cryptocurrency, which has always been my concern. Not necessarily the technology and the potential for it for the future, but just as a vehicle of wealth transfer. Like, oh gosh, when you lose that much overnight, that's tough, and
We
it's tough
also
on companies.
Yeah, we also got to see that yesterday China warned banks not to conduct crypto related business. So
I
this
saw
could
that.
have sparked the sell off. And the SEC here in the US chimed in too and said investors should understand that Bitcoin is a highly speculative investment, as you just said. And they also said that they will closely monitor whether mutual funds that invest in Bitcoin futures comply with federal security laws. So this is basically a warning to hedge fund managers and say, you know what, maybe we will not allow you to put Bitcoin in your portfolios. And this is where probably there's a sell-off spark this morning.
Yeah,
Just crazy.
yeah, and I mean that's a interesting twist with when it comes to Bitcoin investment. If we look at some stocks that are being hit, coin is down a little more than some of the other tech stocks that we were looking at.
Yeah, coin is down 8% pre-market. Then, of course,
Tesla.
Tesla, right? I mean, Tesla still has this, what, $1.5 billion in Bitcoin that they purchased earlier this year. That is probably worth right now a billion. Who knows, right? So Tesla dipping below 552. And as we can see, this pretty much below the lows that were made in March. Let me just switch over to a weekly chart so that we see how low Tesla is currently trading. I probably don't need this anymore. So here we see Tesla is basically trading right now at levels that we haven't seen since November. So giving up all of the gains for the year right now. And this is mainly because their exposure to Bitcoin. What other companies do we have here?
SQ's down 6% pre-market.
Yeah, SQ Square, because Jack Dorsey, I mean, he said, you will have to take Bitcoin out of my cold, dead hands, right? This is what he said. So this means that there's probably some exposure here. Okay.
MSTR,
Hmm?
MicroStrategy, they
MS,
have a pretty big investment in Bitcoin too,
yeah, down 30%.
down over 13%.
Wow. That's crazy. Hey, talking about Tesla and electric cars. So Ford yesterday unveiled their new electric truck, right? I mean, this is where, there we go. Biden already drove it yesterday, the new electric pickup truck. So officially, they are doing the unveiling today. So thus far, Ford, I mean, hasn't really moved a whole lot, right?
Yeah, it was interesting because, like you mentioned, the official unveiling is this evening. I believe it's 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Eastern. But they're gonna do a whole little marketing thing around it and show it off. Yesterday, you saw the front of it. You saw Biden driving in it, where it was all kind of masked up, so you couldn't really see what was going on. But Biden made a statement, is basically saying that electric vehicles are the future, and it didn't really seem like Ford took off, but there were some other electric vehicle companies, specifically in the truck space, that did pretty well yesterday.
Yeah, I
Ride
mean,
being one of them.
we could take a look at Workhorse. I mean, so Workhorse yesterday up 9% this morning, weakness again, probably just because of the broad market. I mean, these are the stocks that are reacting multiple times to the market. So if the Nasdaq is down 1.5%, I'm not surprised that Workhorse here is down 5.5%. And then
Sure.
another one that we have been closely following because we have positions in it has been Ride. I'm just switching back to a daily chart here. So Ride yesterday added 20%, and this morning again slightly down 5.75%. With the overall market weakness, this is where participants probably say, "Okay, what are we gonna do? Where are we parking our money here?" Yeah, because you're right. I mean, Biden just committed and said the future of the auto industry is electric. And he also said we are going to boost our manufacturing capacity as well as grants and tax credits to boost manufacturing of these clean vehicles. So again, Tesla not participating probably because of all of these exposure to Bitcoin. And this
Bitcoin.
is what makes Tesla a really volatile company right now. And we talked about it yesterday. Michael Burry, the guy from The Big Short, the movie, he has a massive bet, a $500 million bet. I think it was 534 million against Tesla, that Tesla will continue to go down. So crazy.
Yeah. Pretty big bet against Tesla. We'll see how that works out,
Yeah.
and to
Let's talk
see if
about earnings.
Tesla breaks through these lows.
Yeah. Let's talk about earnings because earnings season, it's winding down, but this week retailers have been on the radar. And we already had Walmart reporting. Who else reported?
Home Depot.
Home Depot, right? So uh, now we had Target reporting.
Yep.
And what did you see here for Target? Because they are up. I mean, general market weakness, but Target this morning is up almost 2%, 1.72%.
Yeah, Target reported better than expected earnings, and sales jumped 23% in the last quarter. So good earnings. Also saying that the sales boost was because of the reopening of the economy, more people shopping, and also the stimulus check boost. But they expect that sales to continue to improve. So doing well pre-market.
Cool. We had also had Lowe's reporting and Home Depot. Let's just take a look at Home Depot. I mean, they reported earnings and they went lower. We talked about it yesterday. Same with Lowe's. This is super surprising, right? I mean, this just shows trade what you see, not what you think. Did you have the numbers for Lowe's?
I just saw that they reported better than expected earnings, and I think sales rose 24%, similar to Target. Interesting to see that they're down, but I think that it's more a concern over whether or not this continues in the future. We've talked about lumber prices, and so that's a concern right now with the housing market. Lumber being high, if people are going to continue to spend that type of money on improvements right now with some of these extra costs.
Yeah, I actually want to go back to the economic calendar because yesterday we had housing starts and it's a yellow flag report. It's not
Mhm.
really moving the market, but this has an impact on Home Depot and also Lowe's. So as we see yesterday, housing starts came in much lower than expected. So they dropped 13%, and this is hitting Home Depot and Lowe's here. But not only them, you just talked about lumber prices, so we can take a look at this. Lumber prices actually are also moving lower, as we can see here. So these are lumber futures, and after they made a new all-time high early in May, I mean, right now they're giving back. So they were trading as high as $1,700 and are now down to 1264. So that's a pretty significant drop here.
It is. It
You see, this is
is.
where I heard because lumber is so expensive that home builders are actually right now just putting the slab down because they say, you know what, it's too expensive to build a house. We talked about it. I mean, because of the cost of lumber to build a new house, prices have increased by $36,000, right? I mean, this is kind of crazy.
In California, for a house, not a big deal, but in parts of the country, that is a substantial increase.
Yeah, let's take a look at some home builders here. D.R. Horton, for example, who was just making new highs here, also pulling back right now from a high of around 107. So this was 106.89. This morning down to 19. So that's a drop of what 15% plus over the past few days.
Yeah.
So wow. Okay, hey, anyhow, we will have a great day for trading the wheel strategy because,
Yes.
I mean, the selling seems to accelerate. And as markets are lower on down days, we usually get more premium. So I'm looking forward. In 15 minutes, the markets are opening, and I will be looking for opportunities here to sell some more puts. This will be a great day. What do you think?
Absolutely, absolutely. When there's fear, there's opportunity, and on down days, it's a great day to pick up some premium trading the wheel.
Perfect. All right, so this concludes today's stock market update. If you liked it, click on like. If you want to see us again, click on subscribe, hit the little notification bell because this way you get notified whenever we go live. And we'll see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.
Happy trading, everyone.